Let me just make sure that my correct microphone has been chosen. Okay, yeah, good. Okay. So I don't think I'll be wearing my concussion glasses again for long, but I do have them back on for those who don't know what these are. It's because when we had the days of darkness with the smoke and the ash in the air, and I was also without electricity for a time, so I wasn't turning on any overhead lights, and then we came back to electricity and sunshine, and my light sensitivity, as a result of my concussion, my light sensitivity with my eyes also came back. So this is helping me, but I won't wear them when I step back to teach because I don't need them that far back from the computer. So thanks for accepting them. You can consider it fashionable if you want. For me, it's functional, and it lets me be here more comfortably. So let's take a comfortable seat, please, and we'll settle in. These days I'm settling in with one hand on the heart and one on the belly. You can choose, maybe 2 hands on your heart, or perhaps you still like both hands in your lap. So that's up to you. And as you're arriving, first I'm going to invite you just to feel the commitment you've already had to yoga in your life, for however long or however deep, however new, this commitment to yoga in your life. And then try to sense yoga's commitment to you. And it is a tradition that has been here for thousands of years. And the teachings in yoga have been helping other humans throughout time to manage really difficult circumstances. Not only individual circumstances, but also community circumstances. What we might call collective circumstances. So feeling that as yoga arrives to you today, these particular stepping stones on your path, and as you show up for your yoga today. And let your breathing deepen so you can sense your inner body becoming more upright, the crown of your skull a little taller, your pelvis a little bit more grounded. And then your heart, if possible, a little more courageous, right? Or acknowledging the courage that's already there. And to bring those qualities together, this upward ascent, the downward grounding, and the courage of the heart, let's clasp the hands, please. Take your arms up overhead, and with an inhale, press up high. With your exhale, push your arms down, palms face down. Raise the crown of your skull simultaneously, as if you were surfacing from under the water. Now turn your palms out. Inhale to go up, gathering in the courage of the world. And then exhale, bring that down into your heart. Interlace your fingers, raise the heels of your hands high, and inhale. Exhale, push out as if surfacing from under the water. Raise up through the crown of your skull as you press the air down alongside your body. Now again, turn your palms face out. Inhale to rise, gathering in the courage of the larger community. And exhale, bring that down into your heart to connect with your personal courage. Once more, inhale to go up. Exhale, push out. Now last time, inhale, palms face out, rise up. And exhale, bring that down into your heart. And we'll chant the Gayatri mantra together. Om Bhargava Suvaha Tat Savitor Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayata Om Bhargava Suvaha Tat Savitor Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayata Om Bhargava Suvaha Tat Savitor Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayata Om Bhargava Suvaha Tat Savitor Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayata Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha Hari Om. And with your exhale, you may bow your head to your heart. And release your hand, please. Open your eyes. And this morning we're going to begin by coming up to standing. So let me set up the proper camera for your view. There you go. And when you rise up to stand, let me just get my microphone. Yeah. We'll take a wide stance on the mat. When you take this wide stance, let's do it about the length of one leg, so your feet are parallel to each other. And then interlace your fingers, and inhale, raise your arms up overhead. Now we're going to stay for several breath cycles this time, so I'm going to encourage you to let the hips come forward, just kind of near to or in line with the toes, so the front of the pelvis is opening. And then raise your heart and your collarbones, and if it's comfortable for your neck, look up. Take a deep breath where you're actually pressing upwards, and then exhale to press outwards, now coming forward and down. And then inhale, rise up, palms face out. So just as we were doing when we were sitting. And exhale, hands to your heart. It's a shorter distance, so you move slower to pace with your breath cycle. You inhale to raise up, hips a little bit forward, lift your chest, your heart, and your gaze. Exhale, press out, line your hips up with your heels now, so you're coming down with a good stable foundation. Inhale to rise, arms wide, palms face up, look up. Exhale, hands to your heart, timing that with the length of your exhalation. Okay, one more time. Inhale. Exhale, press your arms wide, like you're clearing the space of your mind and the space that surrounds you. Inhale, rise up, gathering energy in. If it's what you need is courage, gather that in. If it's vitality, whatever it might be. Then exhale, bring that down into your heart. Now pausing here, turn your right toes directly out to the right. Take the left heel just slightly back. Okay, so that's the base you would use for parvrrta 2, parvrrta, trikonasana. Join your palms, please. Inhale, sweep your arms wide. And exhale, bend your right knee, gaze out over your right fingertips. Turn your right hand high. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, level off, and try to move with the pace of your breath. So you're really synchronizing. Right hand up, inhale to rise. I can see you in my mirror there, so I'm watching your reflection. Exhale, level that off, tone the low belly. Inhale to go up once more. Exhale, level that off. Inhale, rise to center. Make your feet parallel. Let's go to the other side. Left foot out, right heel out. Inhale, arms wide. So though these are usually stationary yoga poses or poses you might hold a little bit longer, right now we're using them to open up the breath and the lungs. So you inhale to go up. Exhale, level off. Tone your low belly, lengthen up through the crown of your skull. Inhale to reach up. Open the left side of your waist, left rib cage, left upper chest. Exhale, tone your belly as you level your arms, raise up through the crown of your skull. Once more. And then inhale, rise to center. Center your feet and come down to Surya Namaskar. And let's check and see just how these short little yoga vignettes, how do you now experience your breath, your body, and your mind? Some of you might find that when you come down to a pose like this, your breath is able to be deeper into the pelvis or the low belly. Others might find that you have an inner instinct to yawn, which is a way that your body balances the O2, CO2 within you. So now we're going to use this image like a curtain on a window. Let's do foot, hand, foot, and on the inhale, come to your fingertips and glide your spine forward. And then when you exhale, blow out through the mouth and curl down towards the legs. Inhale, uncurl, almost like vertebrae by vertebrae. Bring your spine forward and then your heart and your gaze. Exhale, blow out through the mouth. Inhale, glide forward, steady with the physical actions and the pace of your breath together. Exhale. Once more. And now glide forward, and as you gaze forward, place your hands out in front of you. Please use your fingertips, keep the centers of your palms lifted, so the inner armpits are also lifted. And reach your hips back, so your sitting bones can give traction to your spine. Lengthen the crown of your skull towards your fingertips. And see if you can breathe up and down the length of your spine, your torso, your arms, your ribs, the back of your heart. Include everything. Do one more breath cycle. And exhale completely. And walk your hands back towards your feet, up to your hips, and please rise up to standing. And we'll go heel toe to center. So come into mountain pose. And let's just check and see, how does a few minutes of practice influence you today? What is the felt sense of connection to your body and to your courage? And your sense of connection to the world around you? The tradition of yoga has already arrived in you. And just by being here, you've deepened your commitment to the practice. So now we're going to take this to Surya Namaskar, and today I would like us to use Anjaneyasana in the sun salutation. So if you're someone who prefers a blanket for your knees, please do that. Let me show you where it goes. I have a double padded mat, so I don't actually need, but if you want to see this blanket, you're going to be stepping over it when you step backwards. So I would recommend that you unfold it so it's a little bit flatter. Yeah. Join your hands together at your heart. Let's establish mountain pose. So all 10 toes, your arches, your heels, your calves and knees, thighs, inner, outer, front and back. The pelvis, including the outer hip and back hip muscles, posterior hip muscles. The internal length of your spine and the tone of the low belly. The internal lift of your heart. The apex of the mountain up towards the crown of your skull. Just imagine, for example, for how long a mountain has been watching the valley, for how long it's been watching the seasons come and go. And how we as humans are so tiny compared to mountains, and we see them, we do feel enthralled and awed. Let's bring the Ujjayi breath in and try to have a sense that that breath spans this sort of mountain quality of steadiness, consistency, long-term constancy. And mountains, they welcome what's rising and passing without judgment. All travelers who want to ascend and can do so, no mountain sends them away. But sometimes people don't have the skill to go as high as other people do. The mountain is not making judgments. When you next inhale, sweep your hands down. You can make a little transition like this from Anjali. We press down, then separate the fingers, turn your palms wide and go up. And then rejoin the hand in Anjali Mudra. Bring that down into your heart and touch the floor, Uttanasana. Inhale, glide forward. Keeping your right foot steady, take your left toes back and your left knee down to your blanket. When you begin the inhale, sweep your arms wide, palms face up, raise them up. And staying in Anjaneyasana, bring your hands down to your heart. And then take the palms face down, separate. Palms face out, rise up. Exhale down to your heart. Sweep the hands down, wide and up. And exhale down to the heart once more. One more time, inhale to rise, so palms face out. Lift your heart, gaze up. And then exhale, hands to your heart on your way back to the 2 blocks. As you touch now, inhale, straighten both legs, temporarily say hi to your right hamstring. And then exhale, bend your right knee, step your left foot forward, and come into Uttanasana. Inhale, glide forward. Bring your spine and your heart forward. Exhale, right toes back and right knee down. Establish your foundation and then follow your inhale, rising up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, separate the palms. Sweep your arms wide, palms up. Exhale, hands to the heart. So what you're bringing in there, from the wide reach of the arms, you can determine what you need to bring in. This morning I just mentioned courage or vitality, but any quality you're needing, you can imagine bringing that into your heart. One more time, please. Inhale. And exhale, hands to your heart, hands to your blocks. And then inhale, straighten both legs, glide your hips back. And exhale, bend your left knee, right foot forward, and Uttanasana. Make your legs like a mountain, and inhale, arms wide. Bring your torso upright. Atop that mountain, reach up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Imagine the qualities of mountain. Tadasana is the name of the pose. Tadadrastu svarupe avastanam. It means, and then we abide in our deepest essence. Again, same thing, but we'll add to it. So inhale, upward hands pose. Exhale, hands to your heart as you come forward and down. Inhale, glide forward. Now left toes back and left knee down. This is Anjaneyasana. We inhale, rising up. Bring that down to your heart. Now keeping the hands at the heart, inhale, go up like an arrow. Reach up. And then exhale, push out. Let's repeat that. Inhale, rise up. This is a back bend pose. Allow the hips to come a little bit forward. Exhale, hands to your heart. Gaze forward. Inhale, rise up, gaze up. Exhale, push out. Last one, inhale to go up. And this time, exhale, bring your hands to your heart and then down to the 2 blocks. Now, as you inhale, straighten both legs and put a lot of strength into your right foot. And then exhale, bend your right knee, step forward with your blocks and raise your left leg to be horizontal. It's called Eka Pada Uttasana, one-footed Uttanasana. You're balancing at the moment. So root down through your right leg, your standing leg. Reach back through your left leg. Reach the crown of your skull forward so you could feel a kind of mountain pose from your left heel to the top of your head. This mountain pose balancing on your right leg. Okay, breathe in. And then exhale, bend your right knee, walk the blocks back in line with your foot and touch the left toes down. And inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. And we'll exhale simply to descend. We're going to be stepping towards Uttanasana. Okay, so inhale, left foot forward, heart forward. And then exhale to bow towards your legs. So that balance pose that we're working on is part of a pose called Virabhadrasana 3. Inhale, glide your heart forward, please. As you exhale, take your right toes back and right knee down. Inhale, glide up. Exhale to your heart. Inhale, aim high like an arrow. Exhale to open. Inhale, rise up, gathering in that which you're needing, maybe courage, maybe vitality. Exhale, bring that down into your heart, gaze forward. Now you inhale, aim up like an arrow. And when you exhale, think about pushing aside anything that would really inhibit your goals, your progress, your deepest values. Inhale, sweep your arms up. And then hands to your heart and down to the two blocks. So this is a transition moment. We're going to inhale, straighten both legs and put some good strength into your left foot. Then you exhale, bend your left knee and step forward, float forward. So you have your blocks forward and you're standing on your left leg. Eka Pada Uttasana is also a part of the pose called Virabhadrasana 3. So strengthen your left leg, left toes, left heel, left arches, left outer hip, left thigh. But also reach into the mountain feeling from your right heel to the crown of your skull. And then as you next exhale, bend your left knee, float your blocks back to be on either side of your left foot, and as you touch your right toes down, complete the exhale. Inhale, glide up. Crescent lunge. Yep, good. And then exhale. And please step forward with your right foot. Bring your heart forward. And a deep bow to the legs. Inhale, rise up. And then hands to your heart. Okay, let's take a look at that pose that requires our strength and balance and fortitude. So Eka Pada Uttasana, Virabhadrasana 3 is hidden in that pose, or not so hidden, but it's a part of the pose. It's also part of ardha chandrasana and parvrrta ardha chandrasana. So let me turn as a profile so you guys can see better. When you have the two blocks at the top of your mat, put this aside. And the right foot forward. So we're going to be balancing on the right leg. And to do that, my recommendation is if you start in the crescent lunge like this, where your right shin is vertical and your hands and arms are down, when you're going to step forward, try to think of it like you're going to make a tripod right here. Between your right foot, right hand, left hand, it's an equilateral tripod. So you step into. In Bikram's yoga, they used to call this balancing stick, but we had to stretch the arms out straight to complete the pose. Then we step back like this. Okay, so that's a big moment where we're stepping forward. Think of it like mountain climbing, making a big step on a difficult journey. So let's try it, and we're going to add, in that pose, we're going to add a little twist with the right hand and right arm. Okay, so here we are. Take a deep breath into your basic lunge pose. Exhale completely and firm up your right outer hip, right hamstring, right heel, and right toes. You're going to need that strength as you now take the blocks forward. And then exhale, press forward. Root down through your right foot. Find the mountain pose from your left heel through your inner body to the crown of your skull. Gazing down for steadiness. Press into your left shoulder, left arm. Start rotating your heart to the right. You may keep gazing down as you raise your right arm. And breathing in and out through the nose, keep that smooth. And then exhale and start lowering your right hand slowly. You know the gravity will make sure your hand comes back down. Bend your right knee. Glide the left toes back, one big long step, and then glide the blocks back. And let's use this moment to step backwards to downward facing dog pose. You can use your blocks, so raise your hips high in your downward dog pose. Take a deep breath, Press your hips and thighs back, so it seems like there's traction for the spine. And keeping that smooth. So the blocks are going to make it a little bit easier to step forward with the opposite foot. So exhale, left foot forward. Now firm up your left outer hip, left hamstring, left heel, left toes. Inhale, take your blocks forward. And then exhale to launch. Press down through your left leg for strength and stability. And look for the mountain pose, the steadiness from your left heel, through your left leg, left low belly, the inner body, the crown of your skull. And then as you keep gazing down, open your left arm to the left. So you've added one little challenge to the pose. I use the word little. I know it's not little. But only explore as much challenge as you can maintain the smoothness of your breath, the downward gaze of your eyes, the strength of your standing leg. And then exhale and glide your left hand back to the blocks. Bend your left knee and take a big step backwards into the unknown. You can't see back there. And then walk your blocks back. And step again to your downward facing dog pose. When you're using your blocks for downward dog pose, my hope is that your hips go a little more easefully back. The arms should stay steady. And your breath can have a cadence to it that's bringing you back down to kind of homeostasis. Good. Now step your right foot forward and then your left foot forward and come into Uttanasana. And thinking of mountain pose, we're going to be rising up in a moment. So energize all 10 toes, both arches, both heels. And then inhale to rise. And exhale, come back into your heart. And listen to the inner experience of the mountain. and please release. And I'd like you to have 2 blankets for this part of class. I'm going to address your psoas muscle. You tell me what to call it when I address it. You have 2 muscles, so I should say I'm going to address your psoas muscles. So this is how I'd like you to use the blankets. One of my favorite folds. You open it lengthwise, fold it twice. Stack 2 blankets in this manner, please. And you can place these 2 blankets horizontally on your mat. You're going to have your hips up here in just a moment. We'll be lying down. So go ahead and lie on your back with your sacrum on the blankets. Yeah. And if you place yourself in the middle of the blankets, you'll have this like little extra ledge on both sides. And you've got 1 block for one side and 1 block for the other side. If you need it, they'll be there. Okay, so take the arms into a T shape. And then keeping the legs together like a unit, so the knees are not going to get distorted. They stay together. And we're going to come down to the right with both knees. That's where you lengthened your platform using the block. Now I know that for some of you, for your shins to make it to this block feels like a long distance. So let me recommend that you pick up the left arm, position your right thigh and your shins for support. Keep your feet the same height as your knees, so they're not dropping down lower than. And when you have that, then press into your right elbow and start twisting the inner body to your left. And for those who can, when your left arm reaches out, you place the back of your left shoulder on the floor. And it's highly possible that not all shoulders are going to make it to the floor, and that is okay. Just be responsible for your arm, your shoulder. Be thoughtful. It's okay to keep your right elbow pressing down if that helps you, or you can place your right hand palm face down. And breathing in through your nose, breathing out through your nose. Notice in your own body what is willing to release or resolve. Might be left outer hip, could be left sideways, could be something in your mid to upper thoracic spine, might be in the left upper chest, maybe in the neck, wherever you find this willingness for your body to release tension. And then with an exhale, if you have the belly strength for it, you lift both legs up to center. If you prefer otherwise, you take the left arm across, you gather the body, and then you come to center. Okay, now both knees down to your left. And look for the block to rest your shins on. Since you have 2 blocks, if you need that to be higher, you could add a block to the other side. If you'd like, you can bring the right arm over to set up the legs. And then you're going to press your left elbow down so that you can twist thoughtfully through your whole spine. And possibly lay your right arm out onto the floor while keeping the 2 knees stacked together. So if you look over at your legs, it will not appear that your right knee is shorter than your left knee. As you breathe in and out, let your body feel it has permission to release wherever the holding pattern might be. And that could be for you like right lower back, right outer hip. Could be right sideways. Could be in the spine, right shoulder. Maybe a part of your neck. Just as you're breathing in and breathing out, think of it like here's this gesture of kindness from you to your body. And then either bring your right arm across to meet your left and then roll onto your back, or use your low belly strength to bring your knees up to center. Now for the psoas, drop your right knee in towards your chest and stretch your left leg out along the floor. And it's possible that you'll have to bend your left knee like you see me doing here. And you glide this one in. Yeah. Lengthen from your left low belly. Reach through your left heel even if your leg is not straight. You don't be demanding with the body in any way. Your psoas muscle has been responding to stress and tension, and it responds to any perceived demand with a flinch. It recoils. So don't use demand, but rather invitation. And when you next exhale, tone the left low belly and float your left knee up to meet your right, so both knees can drop in towards the chest. And then holding your left leg, reach your right leg out. Reach it out, so there's a sense not of demand again, but of invitation. Yeah. I want you to feel from class both a sense that you can find your strength and your agency, your ability to act. You also can allow tension to resolve from your body. And then we can remember this deep indwelling need for resilience. So we don't place a demand on the psoas. We offer it as an invitation. And you can use the right low belly to float your right knee up to meet your left. Both knees in towards the chest or the heart. You can rock a little bit side to side if you like. And then keeping your hips on the blankets, tone the low belly so you can just bring your toes very slowly to touch the floor. So you're kind of in a supported bridge pose right here. Once your feet have landed, let the lower belly relax. And notice the breath that just naturally comes, so you're not trying to breathe right now. And then lift your hips just an inch or so and push the blankets so that they go right next to your sitting bones. And when you lie down over them with the legs, you should feel that the pelvis is helped to have a little bit of a neutral place, not overarched, but also not having your lumbar spine flat to the floor. And place your hands where you prefer. Some people do like out to the side. These days I'm putting my hands on my belly. You can decide for yourself. And close your eyes. And go inside and picture how the mountain has welcomed all these weather patterns. The birds moving by, cloud cover, the turning of the world to darkness and then quote-unquote sunrise. And see if in your own mind and your heart you could have this kind of welcome for the wide experience of being human. Not only your own humanity, but that of everyone else. Allow your body to release into the floor beneath you, where the base of any mountain is connected to the earth. Try to sense your own footprint on the earth right now. allow that release to continue. So your body gets heavier with relaxation. And imagine the skin of the body really softening. The skin of your face, over your throat and your heart, the abdomen, thighs and shins, the tops of your feet, your toes. Allow the heaviness of the body to continue. The softening of the skin to also continue. Invite your mind even to be limp with relaxation. And while that softening continues, and the body gets heavier, get a sense again how the mountain has been steady through so many weather patterns, travelers, birds, creatures. The word mountain is Tadasana, mountain pose. Tada drastu svarupe avastanam. Tada drastu svarupe avastanam. Tada drastu svarupe avastanam. Means, and then the seer, drastu, and then the seer abides in their essential nature, which is blissful, svarupe. Tada drastu svarupe avastanam. And when the seer abides in their essential nature, they see everyone and everything as their own. That's why we say self unto self, We can say species unto species. You can lightly deepen your breathing and just sense that which breathes you, that larger wisdom, mystery, intelligence, what you want to call it, it's breathing you. And you may wiggle your fingers, your toes, and make a transition to roll to your side. Rest there before returning to sitting. And when you return to sitting, let's make it a comfortable and upright seat, please. And bring your hands to your heart. You can sing this with me if you'd like to, and it's okay if you don't know the words. I can't hear you directly. So. Tada drastu svarupe avastanam. Tada drastu svarupe avastanam. Tada drastu svarupe avastanam. May we see and be seen clearly. May we see the essential nature of everyone and everything. Thank you for being here today. Namaste. It's so nice to see you. Anytime, but also the before and after you. Before yoga, after Shavasana. Being returned to your essential nature.